JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 21st of November 2022. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Monday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, some of the charts that we looked at the, last week, so just to see how everything is getting along. But yeah, before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, a quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our jfdbrokers.com website, which you can always check out for more information about us, guys. Now, let's jump into the charts. The first one I'm going to pick up here is Nikkei 225. So yep, Nikkei remains flat, and I talked about this last week. I said that, hey, somehow this little area here is providing good support. This area is roughly between the 27,946 and the 27,907. But again, I would say it's just a rough idea, a rough area. In general, you can keep an eye on that 27,900 if you wish, because there's not really like any clear, it's just an area that is holding above, so the area is around that 27,900 level, so you can keep an eye on that one. It continues to trade below that psychological 28,000, of course. So the question here is, can we see a further decline, guys? Well, I'm waiting for that, of course, but my issue here is that we have this upside line as well, taken from the low of the 13th of October, and all this is just drawing us a very nice potential rising veg pattern. However, it's not really clear yet if that's the case, but we can keep an eye on it, of course. And if it is a rising veg, then this could end up breaking to the downside. But at the moment, guys, look, I'm going to aim only for the 21-day EMA. If we do fall below that 27,900 zone for the upside, I would like to see a push somewhere above this territory, above that 28282 level. And then, yeah, we could go to the upside. Now, Shanghai Composite, very quickly on that one. This one's so far doing everything what was in the plan. I said before that if we drop and stay below the 3,100 level, my next target is the 21-day EMA, and then maybe the 3,027 territory, which we didn't reach yet. I'm really hoping maybe to see some sort of a test here. However, the problem that I have here is initially, yeah, one of my first targets is reached, the 21-day EMA. The only thing I have a problem with further declines is the fact that previously, for example, this 21-day EMA did act as a nice good area of support from which we rebounded and pushed higher. So, you know, the same story could happen again. But I would say for me to get excited with the upside, a break of this downside line here taken from the high of the 5th of July would be required. Then potentially more buyers could join in. Now, jumping into ASX 200. Now, this one's a little bit annoying because, again, I talked about this. Said that if we somehow, you know, stay above this 7,117 territory right here, I'll continue aiming higher. Well, we didn't. We did move higher a little bit, but I was really hoping to see maybe a test of the 7,177, but Hey, not, it doesn't do always what I want it to do, but at least it's still kind of, holding above this 7,117 territory right here. Yeah, is as long as it continues to trade above there, then there is still hope, for the upside. However, if it starts falling below it and then it falls, let me just recycle one of these lines. If it falls somewhere below the 7,083, I will consider a larger correction here towards this upside line. However, as you understand here, there's not much room left, so yeah, it's going to be a difficult one. Of course, ideally for the downside, I would prefer to see a drop somewhere below that 7,000 mark. I can still keep an eye on it, of course. It's still could be valid, but given that we're quite far from it yet, maybe, like I said, we could utilize some of these areas here, and if we do fall below the 7,083 territory, then yes, I'll consider a move towards this upside line taken from the low of the 3rd of October, and if we clear that, then yes, we could go further south. But at the moment there is still hope for the upside, but at this point now, I think the easiest option is just to kind of wait for a push above the 7,070 7,177 territory right here, because a break above this area would confirm a forthcoming higher high. The German index DAX. So yeah, looking at this picture here, you can see that on Friday we had a good push higher. We made a move towards that 14,440 territory. I talked about this one, and yeah. We found good resistance here. Yes, we pierced through it a little bit. We had a false little breakout, but we still got a hold up here, and if we take a look at the cash index right now, we'll see that there is a bit of a hold up. So basically, if we do continue to hold here below this 14,440 level, then, well, I mean, I'm not saying that we could go lower here, or we will go lower. No, we could go lower, but look, I talked previously about this 14,263 territory right here. We did last week. We did get a violation of it, but then kind of it did act somehow as a support area at once on Thursday here. But hey, I think it's time to redraw this, and I think easier is to just kind of pick up on this low of last week near the 14,150 level right here. So I think this could be a little bit on the safer side. So if we do drop below it, then yes, there is potential for this one to move lower. However, in terms of, like, let's say further declines, now we do have this tentative upside support line right here taken from the low of the 13th of October. So if we continue to trade above it, then of course any kind of move lower could be seen, because it could be classed as a temporary correction before another possible leg of buying. So you can see this is the little issue that I have here, basically. So if we do fall below this 14,150, then there's not much room left for for maneuverability here. But maybe if we do break this upside line, and this could open the door towards the 200-day EMA right here, and then we will take it from there. So long story short, at the moment, I would say if you are looking for some lower levels, then probably the first option is to kind of wait for a drop below the low of last week, because this kind of area here could be a tricky one. Of course, don't get me wrong, if you see something on the shorter time frame, you can try to utilize that, but again, it could still be a tricky one, so just don't forget to look at the daily chart as well. NASDAQ 100. So this one's a bit of a mess. Look, last week, I talked in the beginning of last week as well. I talked about this idea of a potential kind of inverted head and shoulders pattern with the neckline being here. You can see that the neckline kind of got violated. It kind of got ignored a few times. So I think, well, as much as I do still kind of like the way everything looks here, I think that it's time to get rid of this, because, well, if it's not working, it's not working, guys. back to the drawing board, and I think now the time is to kind of relook at this. And I think that what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a bit of a conservative approach and just wait, for example, for a drop below the 21-day EMA here in order to go a little bit lower for the upside. I would like to see a push above that psychological 12,000 mark, and then I'll go to the upside, S&P 500. So looking at this picture here, I would say we're still in a nice, beautiful rising channel. That's kind of, yeah, that seems to be the case. Yeah, look, I mean, if we are looking for some upside, I would say a push above the 200-day EMA would be needed right here, just to be a little bit more on the safe side, because all this area here is just not very attractive for me for the downside. Now this is where I'll think I'll also redraw this arrow, and I'll stick to a break of this lower side of the rising channel. If we do get a break below this, at the same time we could fall below the 21-day EMA, so keep that in mind. DXY, the dollar index, guys, beautiful rejection here from rebound from this 200-day EMA. In general, last week, yeah, I was kind of hoping to see another test of it, but as you can see here, it reversed back up. Now, look, what I talked about previously, I said that if we travel above this 107.60 territory, somewhere above this zone here, if we remain above it, then yes, there is a chance maybe to see a retracement towards the 100 and the 21-day EMAs. That's going to be my initial target. And then, of course, if that gets clear, then I'll go for that 109.53 territory right here, and then so on and so on. But at the moment, I will, like I said, I'm going to take it very carefully, yeah, I'm going to aim for that 100 and the 21-day EMAs. If we do push and stay above the 107.60, if we struggle, there might be a retracement back down, maybe again at a retest of this 200-day EMA. And if you're looking, for some further declines, well, in that case, just kind of wait for a drop below the 200-day EMA. Now, we haven't been below the 200-day EMA since what, like September of 2021, guys. That's when the last time, okay, sorry, I'm talking about like a proper stay. Okay, we did drop it briefly here last week, but was it last week actually? Just bear with me one moment. Yeah, that was last week. But then last time before that actually, we were here. Also there was a brief visit only back in here. Okay, so there we go. So yeah, that's September, beginning of September of 2021. So we also kind of flirted with it a little bit, and then pushed back up. So let's see, if eventually we can drop and stay below that 200-day EMA. But again, at the moment we're seeing a rebound, so there is some potential for the upside here. Gold. Gold is having a nice retracement, and it did already. That my 23.6. Look at this. I talked about this, and yeah, I talked a lot about this, and I said that if we stay above the 200-day EMA, then I'm considering something like that. If you start breaking it, then I'm considering a test of the 23.6. Great, wonderful. What's next? Well, I will still keep my Fibonacci here, my Fibonacci levels on the chart, and in a way, if we drop below the 23.6, my next target is the 38.2 here on the Fibonacci, which is not in between, actually between the 100 and the 21-day EMAs. So good potential target. That's roughly around that 1721 level, so approximately around there. Silver. Dropping below the 200-day EMA. So yeah, great. I would say great for the bears. Could be great for the bears. Look, as long as we stay below the 200-day EMA, I'm aiming for the 21-day and then the 100-day EMA. WTI oil. So there we go. We've exited the range. And look, I talked about this, and I said that if we fall below this, my next target is the 79.45 right here, and then the 76.28. Well, we reached one. We almost managed to reach the other, but hey, I'll take that. This was a good run, I would say. If you manage to capture here, this, I think that this is one of those moments where you have to kind of consider the fact that it's not always, you don't always hit the exact level, the level that you think. You might come very close to it, and if you start seeing, some struggling, then I think this is the cue for you to exit. And I think that, yeah, this was a good run. I would say a good result here. And now the question here is, where next? Well, I think it's time to, yeah, go a little bit further here. I think this arrow has to be drawn this way, and I will grab this highlighted zone and I will stick it right here, because this is going to be my area for further declines. 76.28, roughly around here. That's the lowest point of September. A nice good drop below it would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and more sellers could join in here. So look, I think that I need to get rid of some of these lines. I think I need to just, yeah, just get rid of them for now. I think we're way too overcrowded here. I'll keep a few. And yeah, basically, if you're looking for some higher levels, guys, a break of this downside line, in the short run, of course, a break of this downside line may attract a few more buyers and could open the door towards that 100 and the 208 EMAs. Now, in terms of the downside, as I said, a drop below that lowest point of September would be required. Ethereum, guys, we are dropping. Yes, we've dropped. Look, I think it's better for me to actually get rid of all the drawings here and start fresh. Now, look, in general, you can see that we're below all of the EMA, so this doesn't mean that we're there could be like some positivity or something, unless there's some sort of headlines that could drive the crypto market back to the upside. But at the moment, guys, it's all just negativity. So yeah, that's why I will probably stick to the downside. And for example, from the short-term perspective, if we do fall below the this lowest point of November near the 1070 territory, then yes, I'll go lower. My next target will be the lowest point of June near the 880 level. Yes, in between here we will have that psychological 1000 territory, somewhere around here, I think. Yeah, roughly. I think, yeah, I think this is going to be like a zone between around that area. So good potential target here initially, the psychological 1000, but if that gets cleared, yeah, the 880 zone, that's what I'm keeping an eye on. Now let's jump into some pairs, guys. Look at this, my mission accomplished here. I'm loving this pair. I'm loving this this move here, and look, and beautiful hold up near this 1.0825. Yes, we've dropped just briefly below it, but hey, good target, good area for kind of support. We're currently rebounding from this one, and we're still trading above it. So let me just grab this arrow. I think, yep, there we go. So basically, for further declines, yeah, a drop below this area is required. My next target then could be somewhere around here. Somewhere around this 1.0755. If that gets cleared, then yes, the next target is the 1.0612, and then we will take it from there. For the upside, now, look. Again, I previously had talked about this area here, and still this could be a nice attractive area for the upside. However, I think that the further we go to the downside, I think we can start maybe looking at actually at the break of just this downside line, and then yeah, we could go from there. Now, in a way, in order to go, yeah, at the moment, like I said, I'm just waiting for the break. We did get my move, so I think it's, yeah, we can just rest for a little bit here, just not to be as way too aggressive on this, but yeah, in a way, like I said, if you're looking for some further declines, then yes, a drop below this hurdle is required. And ZDCHF, very quickly on down, look at this beauty, another one. Look, I talked about this, and again, this downside line is providing good resistance. So yes, we pushed through this. Okay, that's fine. We had a false breakout. We had that test of that 0.59 territory. Great. Look, I will stick to this downside line. If we push through it, I'll go for that 208 EMA. simple as that. Of course, we do have that 0.59 territory here as well, so which could provide a bit of a hold up or something. But you know, if it gets a nice break here, then yes, we'll like my next target is the 200-day EMA. Now, in case this downside line continues to provide resistance, so here I think that it would be best, let's say, to keep your eyes on this 0.5834, just as from the short-term perspective. And if we fall below it, next target is the 21-day EMA right here. But if that gets cleared, then certainly further declines are possible. But I think that yeah, that could be the best option, because then we could aim for that 0.5716 level again. However, my ideal scenario for the downside is from around here. USD CHF. So we failed to hold below the 23.6, so we decided to go for another further kind of retracement. So that's absolutely fine. Don't get me wrong. I mean, but yeah, as I said before, that if it breaks, then yes, we could go higher. But if it continues to hold this 23.6, this is where maybe a bit of a move back down could be possible. And unfortunately, this is kind of how it works. So yeah, guys. I mean, don't get mad if you were, let's say, short here and now it's breaking it. It still can go for like even 50 or even 61% retracement here, 61.8% retracement on the Fibonacci. So be careful with that. And in general, at the moment, if it continues to trade, let's say, above this 23.6, I'm aiming for the 200-day EMA, or even maybe this 38.2% retracement on the Fibonacci near the 0.9656 territory, roughly around here. If it starts falling back below the 23.6, now this is maybe where it could become a little bit more interesting, and we could maybe start aiming for the downside again. USD CAD, very quickly on that one. So yeah, beautiful move away from this 1.32 territory, somewhere around here where it kind of rebounded last week. We're pushing higher, and look, I talked about this idea for the upside, and I think that I have to adjust this a little bit, because look, yes, it looks attractive. This for the upside, a break above this 1.3409 could do the trick, yes, for more buyers. But hey, let's not rush into anything, because I think my arrow here is way too radical here to the upside. I think I need to lower it down a little. So look, as long as we stay above this 1.3409, I will aim for this 21-day EMA initially. It could be a nice good target, but then we have a problem with this downside line here. So basically, there is some room here for the upside, for further upside, but let's be careful and cautious with this. Again, first, my target is the 21-day EMA, or near the 21-day EMA, because, like, for example, here back on the 10th of November, it failed to kind of actually hit the line itself. It came very close and then reversed sharply. The same story here. And look, keep your eyes on this. I mean, it might come closer to that 21-day EMA, fail to hit it, and then reverse back to the downside. For the downside, by the way, I would start looking at some lower levels from around here, from this 1.3308 level, somewhere around here, maybe 33 itself, because at the same time we would drop below the 100-day EMA, and this could open the door towards some lower areas. GBP/USD, so yeah, the rising veg potential. Okay, great. It seems like it's still bouncing around here. Look, I mean, this I do like these formations, but I like these formations when they break out. At the moment, I'm just observing this one, and to be honest, yeah, I'm not gonna do much. Look, I'm gonna stick to one theory, maybe, that if it, I have one idea, I would say, if it, let's say, drifts a little bit lower, maybe tests this 100-day EMA and finds as a good support, maybe we could rebound and push back to this 200-day EMA. So I'm clearly kind of trading right now on this one just from the EMA side, not even with levels, because again, this is, I want to see if this is going to work out or not. This is just kind of a little idea here, but hey, if it starts, we start breaking this lower side of the potential rising veg here, then yes, lower levels could be met, guys. GBP NZD. So this one, this one's beautiful. I mean, look. I mean, I keep on talking about this idea that, you know, as long as we remain below all of these EMAs, then yes, there could be some potential to the downside, and the pair keeps like hitting those EMAs and then drifting back down, hitting them again, reversing to the upside, hitting them, and then going back down. So I look, I'm still kind of considering maybe a move towards this 1.9130, something like that here, as long as it stays below all of the EMAs. If it pops above this downside line and this 1.9555 territory, then yes, I'll go a little bit higher. Euro NZD, so this one's also quite attractive, remains within the falling channel, great. Of course, don't get me wrong, the falling channel is not the prettiest one because we got kind of violated here, but so far so good. I would say even that the 21-day EMA is providing that good strong resistance. So at the moment, yes, I'm still aiming for that 200-day EMA, and then I'm going to take it from there. From here, if we clear this 200-day EMA, I will go towards the lower side of this falling channel. Euro GBP, we finally got a break here, this 0.8709, approximately around here. I talked about this. I said that if we fall below it and stay below it, further declines are possible. My next target at this point, my next target is the 100-day EMA and then the 200-day EMA. Simple as that. In order to go higher, I would like to see a break of this downside line, because at the same time, we would be placed above all of the EMAs on our daily chart. And finally, EURUSD. So this one is interesting as well. So the 200-day EMA provided a good hold up, and yeah, that's the result we got. So I said that if we push through the 200-day EMA and stay above it, then yes, I'll go higher. But if it continues to hold as a resistance, you know, then there is some potential for the downside, especially if it falls somewhere below this 1.0271 zone right here. Sorry, yeah, 71. Yep, 71. Yeah. So it is falling right now below it. So look, it's the beginning of the trading here in Europe. So I mean, anything can happen. Maybe this could eventually just end up being a range. For example, it reverses back up here. So at this point, I would say I'm not really liking this one. However, part of me does want to go and aim for this 100 and the 21-day EMA. Look, I'll probably put it this way: if we stay below the 1.0271, I'll go for the downside here. I'll aim for this 100 and the 21-day EMAs, and then we will take it from there. For the upside, I will just wait for a push above the 200-day EMA, and then yeah, I'll go higher. So guys, that's it for this session. I really hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I really appreciate your time, guys, your views, your likes, your comments, everything. So thank you for that. If you want to catch me tomorrow morning, as always, at my Traders Espresso, 7 o'clock GMT time. For now, have a wonderful trading day. Stay safe. Have your stop losses in place, and everything will be fine. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.